Margaret Kuhlman here of soulastrology.com. So this new moon's in Aries, and I hope everybody has been seeing the evening sky over the last few weeks, where Venus has been overtaking Jupiter in Taurus. This new moon is very close to Taurus, being in Aries, the next sign. So the new moon as it rises, very early evening as we see it, it will be passing first Jupiter, then Venus, making this beautiful spectacle even more wonderful. These two planets are so bright that you see them before you see any stars. They're so bright that you can see them against the evening sky before it gets dark. You'll see in the chart that Mercury, retrograding, still just in Aries, is one side of the new moon, while Uranus is the other, all within that 4-degree orb. So it's as though the new moon for this whole month brings a focus on the Mercury and Uranus that we experienced last month. The sudden speech, the desire to be autonomous, to do what one wants to do, the tendency towards impatience. And the whole bunch this time is at right angles to Pluto, with very little else to help it. So if you had difficulties with communication at all last month, this month brings the focus on sorting out what it is that we do that attracts the results we get. Definitely thinking out of the box. Very valuable for any innovation. Absolutely called for in this time of change. The difficulty may come in being too focused on what we think is right, going ahead too far for other people to see how it might work, acting too suddenly so that we are somehow out of step with what's really going on and fall. The gentling factor is that quincunx to Mars, so that the big pattern, that the almost kite shape that we have in Earth that I've spoken about before, which with the square from Aries to the Pluto could seem like life running over us, running over our little ideas and desires, so that that great force can show us how our individuality can fit the scheme, the greater scheme of things. And as always with the quincunx, it's being prepared to put our own ideas in service to the whole. It's not that we give them up, it's that we offer them to the whole. And Mars in Virgo is going to chew it over because it's still retrograde, so taking its time, the energy not surging forwards. And if we can master some patience in ourselves, we may get to see how our bit really does fit in. We all do have a part to play, but it's not just being ourselves and playing our part, it's how we play our part that matters. Being in connection, being aware of our surroundings, and not just of our own take on life. With the North Node in Sagittarius, which it's been for some time, working well with this new moon, it's as though, having had our ideas, we go forward then asking questions. And the knack of asking a question is that even though you may have a potential answer within you, be prepared to be wrong when faced with the facts, or with the opinion of others, or with their experience. So it's genuinely open questions that we need to ask. And we may well find that our own personal experience is actually more relevant than we could have imagined, but only when shared. So it's not so much about action. It's about communication. And generally with Aries, the piece that needs to be adjusted is the drive which pushes us towards a future goal and therefore takes us right out of the present where everything's actually happening. And on the other hand, Aries can be beautiful at living in the present moment, awake and aware. And so back to these stars that I mentioned at the beginning. Venus passing Jupiter in Taurus. Such an expanded love emanating from the earth and being received from the universe. And we stand delightfully in between, in the flow in both directions. The contemplation follows. Make yourself comfortable. The physical is essential for this life you live, your support and your home. This is your launch pad for the mental comet, following ideas like bright stars. Never lose touch with your ground, or health may become an issue, a necessary distraction from ego effort. Now come. Open your mind without thought. Receive, because there are solutions to your most devastating problems, there for the open, transparent mind, for the open chalice of the heart. Empty yourself of self to feel the dappling flow of life ripple over your senses. Love is the master of the universe, and its passing across leaves peace and a smile in its wake.